So LeBron James and the Lakers team had the players-only training camp. And we don't have any reports from inside the camp because obviously it's just players only, so you don't got media, you don't got all those things. But Monday is media day. And then after media day, you got the actual training camp, and we should start getting some real information about this team, the structures, all of that stuff, and start getting ramped up and ready for the upcoming NBA season. So today, by the time you're watching this video, today, Sunday, that would mean that today would probably be the last day for the Lakers to make a move. Now, could the Lakers and Rob Pelinka maybe have a deal last minute? I mean, a lot of stuff don't really happen on Sundays, but doesn't mean that nothing can happen. The Lakers gave themselves a deadline for training camp, and I don't see the Lakers going in Monday, media day, with Russell Westbrook, taking pictures, smiling, having a good time, big three posing with the basketballs and stuff, and doing all these interviews and this, that, and the other to not have to then follow that up with a trade and not have him on the roster, something like that. I just don't see that being the case. I think, you had LeBron's camp, which I don't think the Lakers were operating as like that being a deadline. And I do think if a deal that is just like, you got to take this deal is on the table at any point, I think they end up taking it. But I think going into this season, if we don't get something tomorrow, I think that's it. I don't think anything is going to happen tomorrow. I just want to be clear on that. But it is a possibility that, something arises and that, we get something Sunday morning or we get something Sunday afternoon or maybe early Monday morning. Pacers deal, a Jazz deal, Spurs deal, Knicks deal, whatever. And it might not even be a Westbrook trade. It could just be like a smaller trade. Maybe it's like a deal for Cam Reddish or something. I do think the Lakers, depending on who gets bought out, could add a new piece to their team that we don't know of yet. Say a Rudy Gay or, a Jay Crowder or somebody, again, just throwing out names. Somebody gets waived by their team that the Lakers are like, oh, this is somebody we could use now. The piece we need. This is a piece that makes us better. I do think the Lakers would add that piece. Most likely, more than anything, if I had to guess, I think that they leave that open roster spot and wait and see what happens at, say the trade deadline, whether it's they work out a trade for Westbrook at that point. Maybe he becomes more desirable for other teams. That's a real possibility. Although I think if Russ is on the team to start, then I think he ends up staying with the team the whole year, because I think either the Lakers are going to be good enough to where you don't want to mess up that chemistry, you don't want to mess up the kind of wave that they got, especially if they figured out a way to make Westbrook work, make Westbrook be effective, then I don't think that they'll want to trade him. And at that point, you might as well see what you got, see what you can do, and then have the cap space to kind of retool whatever the following season. And then they're either, the other side of that coin is the Lakers are just bad. And then if you're not making it to a championship and you're not a contender and it's not for like a Kyrie or something, then why make a trade at all? You might as well save your assets and see what's available during the offseason. Maybe you can work out a deal. Maybe Kyrie becomes available then, and you want to do a sign and trade or something. I'm not saying that any of that would happen. I'm just saying, like, you don't know what tomorrow would bring. So I think if Russ is on the roster, I think he stays with the roster. But, if a deal does arise, or say the buyout market, think Markieff Morris or like Andre Drummond, something like that ends up happening, then I think the Lakers would make that happen. The other option, of course, is like training camp. Maybe something in training camp happens. But I think for the most part, I think that open roster spot stays an open roster spot. I think this is the team we got. I think very likely our starting five, again, this is not any particular order. These are just the guys that we have. I think our starting five is likely going to be Westbrook, Beverley, LeBron, Davis, and Thomas Bryant. I wouldn't be shocked if they experimented in the shooting guard position. Like maybe they run Reeves, or they run Walker, or maybe a Troy Brown or a Kendrick Nunn, or even maybe a Dennis Schroeder. I don't know how Schroeder and Westbrook will work together, but I just think it'll change based on the matchup. But I think Westbrook, LeBron, Davis, and likely Bryant will be the core four that start game in and game out. Now, I do hope and think that they will operate Russ as a sixth man. I think they start him for the ego. They start him because you want Westbrook, LeBron, and Davis to get those reps in. And look, a 22 game, 23 game, whatever it was, sample size is not enough to figure out how this works. We need health more than anything. If these guys can stay healthy, I think we'll be in a good position and kind of figure it out. But I do think Darvin Ham kind of, has these guys start, run the first 5 minutes or whatever, and then LeBron comes out or Westbrook comes out, and they just, from then on out, they just interchange, their minutes. When one's in, the other one's out. When the other one's in, the other one's out. Like, that's what I think Darvin Ham is likely going to do. And that was the whole reason you went and got Russell Westbrook. The whole reason you went and got Russ was to have LeBron, one, play off the ball, and two, when LeBron isn't in the game or he misses a game or whatever, you have that ball handler that can pick up the slack and help. Russ is going to play as many games as he possibly can, and I think you have to have him start. I think you have to have him play. I know a lot of people want to send him home or sit him on the bench. Problem is, we're not good enough to do that. We're not good enough to buy him out or just send him home and give him the John Wall treatment. I think this team is solid. I think it's going to come down to defense. Can we be a top 5 to 7 defense in the league? If we can, I think this team will be very good. And I don't think we're going to have a problem scoring. Even as bad as we were last year, we didn't have a problem scoring. We averaged like 114 points a game. Problem was we were giving up like 120. So if this team defensively can be good, I think offense will be fine. Even with the lack of shooting, I think we'll be fine. Look, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are going to get you halfway to 100. So then at that point, you only need a handful of guys to get you 10 points a game, and you're good. Russ is probably going to get you 15 at least a game. So then there you go. You're at, 65 to 70 points between those three. And then I think it'll be by committee. You get a bunch of people. I think we're going to run deep. I think that, we're very likely going to run 10 to 12 players deep. I wouldn't be surprised at all if, a lot of these guys only play 15 to 20 minutes. Obviously, if a guy's got the hot hand, obviously, if a guy's really balling that night, I think that, he'll play more. I think he'll be a good chunk. But I think they're going to want this team to have fresh legs. I think we're going to be very fast. I think we're going to probably lead the league in fast breaks, lead the league in fast break points. I mean, we were like number one in pace last year, and we had, the oldest team in league history. And so imagine what we'd have with this team. And that's because we had guys like Russ and LeBron and stuff who could get out on the break and run. And now we got guys that can really sort of impact the game in multiple ways. Got guys that can play multiple positions. We have incredible guard play, right? We got a plethora of guards. So I'm not worried about our guard position. I'm not worried about our center and power forward position because we got, Thomas Bryant play the 5 or 4. You got Davis play the 4 or 5. Damian Jones can play the 5. Winning Gabriel can play the 4 or 5. I think we're good there. Biggest concern is the wing and the wing depth. And I think that the way we make up for that is by committee. We all come together and we collectively play quality team defense. You got guys and Patrick Beverley that can play big, although I don't really want him playing the wing, but you got a guy in him who's played big and can guard guys bigger than him. But you got guys like, Austin Reeves. You got guys like Troy Brown, JTA. You got guys like, Walker. Walker's got a 6'10 wingspan. So I think that helps. Again, the wing position is probably going to be by committee. You're probably going to have several guys. So, if we play, a Clippers team, it's not going to be just one guy guarding Kawhi, one guy guarding Paul George. It's going to be probably several. And you wear him down by just throwing bodies at him. You're not going to be able to stop him. Even if we had a wing defender, you're not going to stop him. They're just that great. Kevin Durant, stuff like that. But we operate as a team defense, and we just throw bodies at those guys and wear them down over the game. Once we get to the playoffs, same thing. You wear them down over a 7-game series. That's how we're going to do this. I think once we get to the playoffs, healthy LeBron, healthy Anthony Davis, this team has chemistries for a top 5 to 7 defense. Russell Westbrook is working to an extent. I don't think he's going to be a perfect fit, but you don't need him to be. You just need him to be that third guy. If he can give me 15-5-5, night in and night out, effectively. Cut back on the turnover, stuff like that. I think this team would be great. I mean, if Russ could legitimately give us 15-5-5, which he's capable of, night in and night out, he can just cut his turnovers in half. He's averaging something like 7 turnovers a game or something ridiculous. If he could cut that to 3 or 4 a game, because, high usage rate, stuff like that, you're going to turn the ball over. And Russ did have one of the highest usage rates. So it's just, if he can basically just, stay within less than a handful of turnovers a game, give us 15-5-5, be effective, make your layups, then I think that this team can be very good. I think we got great pests in Patrick Beverley, Dennis Schroeder. We got 2 of the top 5 guys defensively as the primary defender to the closest offensive player. So Patrick Beverley is number 2 behind Giannis. And what that means is that, say there's a guy that gets the ball, and say LeBron, that's LeBron's guy, but LeBron isn't near him. Patrick Beverley is number 2 on that closeout and to get a stop and prevent a bucket. Number 4 on that list is Anthony Davis. So we have 2 of the top 5 guys in the league that are able to be a ball stopper for a defense, as the closest, nearest defender. That is huge. That means the recovery, stuff like that. We got guys that can play defense. We got guys that can set the tone. We got the Draymond Green, the Dennis Rodman type player, and Patrick Beverley. And what I mean by that is that enforcer, that guy that'll go get the technical, the guy that'll, push the guy into the ground and make the hard play, give the hard foul, stuff like that. We'll make sure LeBron doesn't get the tech. He'll get in the dude's face. Guys like that. High energy, is going to rally the troops, is not afraid to tell somebody they're effing up, all of that stuff. You got a guy in Kendrick Nunn who was a 20-point per game starting point guard for the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. He has experience, questions about his health, but he hasn't even gotten to training camp yet. Let's see what happens and what reports come out in training camp. I think this team can be very good. I do. I really believe in this team. Now, could they be bad? Of course. But we haven't even seen this team play yet. So I don't know how we can have a fair assessment of this team until we actually see them play a couple games. What happens if they beat the Warriors opening night and they beat the Clippers on the back-to-back? The whole narrative of this team is going to change. So let's just be patient. Let's just wait, see what develops, and see where we are as a team. See what kind of reports are coming out of training camp, what it's looking like. Let's find out. Let's see what Darvin Ham's got. I think he has a real opportunity here. Good coaching can solve and fix a lot. Frank Vogel did this team no favors last year. I'm not saying that he was the main reason or anything like that. It was a collective group. Everybody was at fault. Westbrook, as much as I've defended him, he still was part of the problem. He wasn't the main problem, but he was part of the problem. Hopefully this year you got a clean slate, new players, new coach, new culture, new environment, new offensive schemes, new defense schemes, new everything. So let's see what we got. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Do you think anything happens tomorrow or today? Do you think, a trade gets done? Do you think, Lakers, whether it's a small trade, whether it's a big trade, whatever, do you think the Lakers end up filling that 15 spot? Do you think they leave it open? However you feel, whatever you think, love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let me know down in the comments. Quick little shameless plug, everyone. If you enjoy my videos and commentary here on this channel, As It Stands Lakers, then check out the link down in the description below and go subscribe to As It Stands. Believe it or not, As It Stands was the first channel. If it wasn't for that channel, this channel would never have existed. Because of the success of that channel, it led me to want to create this Lakers channel. So do me a huge solid. If you're not subscribed over there, go check that out. Go subscribe over there. I talk all things sports, all teams, things like that, not just the Lakers. So if you just enjoy my commentary and want to hear me talk about other things, or you just, are a fan of other sports and other teams, go check that out. I promise you will not be disappointed. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.